Work week, Oklahoma, 2021, first week of August. Matt and I are out here moving stands, kind of resituating some stuff from last year. You know, you hunt a place for a couple of years and you kind of figure things out a little bit more as you go. And the more Matt and I bow hunted out here, we realized that a few things needed to be tweaked. I ended up missing a big deer out here last year, and that was not because anything needed to be tweaked other than I needed tweaked because I hit the window on the blind. But with that being said, we had some deer skirt us over there at that particular spot, and we can't figure out why they're taking the path that they're taking because they used to not take that particular path. So we're fixing to go and look at that here in a little bit and see if we can change their route a little bit. I don't know how we're going to do it because it's wide open prairie, but we're going to try to change their route. Now we're going to meet RA over here. We're planting a food plot over here in a certain spot, and we already have a stand up over there. Been running a camera over there and I actually have some pictures of some really big deer in velvet already, and they're still growing. So once they finish out, they're definitely going to be shooters. I think I know this deer. So what we're doing, RA is nice enough to plant us about, how many acres is this right here?
15.
About a little 15-acre food plot. We got this up here. If you look down there, you can see we got a tree stand down in that cottonwood. And then we're feeding Big and J down in the bottom right there. So these deer travel up and down this draw right here. They'll come in and kind of stage up right there, and then they'll move up into this, what's going to be a barley field. But right now we got the main most person that works around here, Kyra. RA's daughter, she's out there running the tractor right now. So we see who's doing the work. So yeah, that's right, we know who's doing the work. So anyway, we're gonna go down here and put a reveal camera on the feeders just to kind of see what kind of pictures we can get this year. And Kyra's fixing to put some seed in the ground for us. So anyway, everybody ought to have a daughter named Kyra, you know it?
I know, tractor driving, combine running, barrel racing fool.
Man, I tell you what, she's something. That's awesome right there, dude. So do I get to keep these or are they yours?
You're gonna have to negotiate with the tractor driver.
Look, these would be perfect. Look. I'm joking.
Oh yeah, got me.
Gotcha. Got him.
This is a spot that we call the Valley. We have a feeder and a tree stand set, probably 50 yards up the draw in there. But it's the first time I've ever been able to walk back here in the summer. And you can tell why these deer love this area. There are trails all throughout in here. It's so thick, so much cover. It's usually one of the better spots that we get pictures of really big deer. So they're yelling my name. I'm gonna head back that way. But really cool to get back in here and see what these deer are using once the fall rolls around.
This is a spot that we call the burn. The reason we call it that, several years ago there was a big fire that come through here, and that's the reason you see back behind, you see a bunch of dead cottonwoods back here. That's because the fire come through here and burn it up. Well, last year we had a ton of deer that skirted us from this stand. I actually missed a deer out of this stand. Well, what they do is they'll come from back in here and they skirt us right here, come around, and they'll come around and come down, and we have a feeder up this draw right here that we're trying to cut them off going to the feeder up there. We have to cut them off. It's legal to hunt over the feed in Oklahoma, but a lot of times they don't get to that feed till dark, so we try to shoot them before they get to the feeder. So what we're gonna do, we've got the blind on this trailer right here. We're gonna move it further that way. And that will allow us to hunt it on a little bit more consistent wind. And the deer that skirt us, they normally come right here and then come back down and work their way down to the feeder, and that should give us a 20-yard shot.
They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So we are trying to prevent ourselves from being comfortable, because the easy thing to do is say, well, it just happened a few times, but it really didn't. It happened probably, what, 7 or 8 times to us last year?
Yeah.
Where those deer were coming.
Easily.
So
Easily.
we're going to take a couple hours and do the right thing, and hopefully it'll pay off in the fall. So it's the difference between having a successful year or saying, man, I wish we would have done that back in the summer. Or it may not work at all, but you got to try something.
No, we'll have to pull up just a hair, ain't it? I like it. I think that's about right, because they usually come around that right there and cut and come right in to right here. So, or they'll come down this draw right here. So I think we'll set it up right here, because it's going to pick up and it's going to come another 4 yards back that way, which will put us about 25 yards probably from the trail that they normally use. So we'll give it a shot. I like it. As dumb as we look. Yeah. So last summer I come out and RA and I we were filling feeders out here, and we had this big tote. How many pounds of Big and J did that thing hold? Probably.
Like 3,000 pounds.
Yeah, probably 3,000 pounds in the back of it.
Full.
So we had it on the back of here, and we had these arms that had it squeezed. And RA looked at me. He said, "That'll stay, won't it?" I said, "Well, sure it will."
Yeah.
Well, we're going down the road, and me and him's talking like we do, because both of us are just like big talkers. And I just happened to look in the rearview mirror, and it looked like an atom bomb went off in the middle of the road. Boom! I said, "RA." He said, "What?" I said, "Something just blew up back there." He turned around and pulled back up. We looked, and he said, "That ain't good." Went on back.
But the best deal is, like a month later, I get a phone call from a neighbor, and he's like, "I would like to know who in the heck dumped all this corn and Big and J off in the road. I just hit a deer and wiped out the fender of my truck." I'm like, "Dude, I have no
idea.
I don't know. Probably some hunting guy.
Yeah.
I don't know."
Let's go put this one in the spot. I think I know where we want it.
All right,
Perfect.
We're
okay.
on.
All right. You make sure you make sure he does right. All right.
She's got the remote.
Golly.
Don't call Mark. Do not put this
Man.
Mark. It's like this. Yeah.
You got to go get some gray paint. He's gonna have a fit. Okay. Tell you what, just what we've seen in the past. So there's our blind right there.
Right.
Most
so they come up through here.
Most of the bucks pop up right in here. Most of them come up.
Okay.
So I'm guessing. How does that draw run down in there? What's it do? Does it go down in there and just stay brushy all the way?
It stays really brushy. It goes back and it breaks to the south. Really swampy. There's a lot of water in there.
Okay, so that's why.
And it forks off kind of in a wishbone.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is I want to try to catch these deer coming, before they get to the feeder. So
Sure.
maybe setting the feeder right down here, and whenever they come in and jump the fence coming in, they're gonna stage up around the feeder before they make it out here to the field.
Sure.
So maybe either putting a tree stand in one of these little trees here, or even a pop-up blind and brushing it in. And it being down in this hole right here, a blind might survive in the wind out here where one normally don't. It usually ends up in Kansas. Is this where you'd put it?
I'd put it here.
Okay, that's all that matters. As long as Kyra says
there's
it's
deer
a good
running.
spot.
Oh, there's a couple big old bucks.
Look at him.
Oh, that's a good deer.
There was 2 of them.
That one right there was.
That was a nice buck.
Oh, I ain't see nothing on him. Mark, we did not see a buck at the Sean Low.
No.
That was a doe. Just
Pair of does.
It was a nice doe.
They identify as does.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that was a doe. I
Yeah.
was. We'll never. Yeah, Mark, it was a nice doe.
They were on the does team.
Yeah,
straight up. They're good.
Yeah, Kyra, I think you picked a good
Not
spot.
that big.
Probably
Yeah, I think so.
might be a doe come right here.
There could be some small deer come in from that way.
Dude,
Probably.
that thing had a
Hog. It was a hog.
let's put it right there.
There's 2 of them there.
That thing was
The
huge.
other one, but that-
It was just right here.
I honestly think this will work. We'll put one stand right here, and I'll still have to clear out a little bit of that. I like this spot though a lot. A whole lot. Cool. All right.
You need help, don't you?
Yeah, I got to hand you this. Here you go.
So a little update on where we are for the day. We just got the second blind down. We're gonna move it over to where Mark killed that deer we called COVID last year. But in the process, Kenneth dropped the tools and they exploded, went everywhere. And then he got on a conference call that he had to be on. So, guess what I get to do? Thanks, buddy.
I want y'all to understand something. This is a T-post. I do know that. I know that this is the bottom of the T-post, and I know that this is the top of the T-post. But what we're doing, we're anchoring down this shooting house here, and we needed a hole right here so we could hook a strap to it. Well, there's not a hole in the top of this T-post, but there happens to be a hole in the perfect spot on the bottom of the T-post. So what I'm fixing to do is I'm going to drive this T-post in upside down. And we're going to put a little eyelet right there and hook off to it and strap this down. So if y'all laugh at me, it's okay. I can deal with it. But I'm fixing to drive a T-post in upside down. Yep, I knew that might happen. Might not work. Dadgummit. Ah. We got to figure this out somehow.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought he just got extremely mad and threw the thing down on the ground. But what he was doing was, he was getting it unstuck, so that was funny.
You ever seen them on social media do this? That might be the best way to do this one. All right, I think that holds. It'll hold me anyway. I don't know about Mark. We switch gears a little bit. We turn the T-post back the other way, put them in, hook this chain right here, hook that off, run them up there, and now this baby is tight as it needs to be. So we ought to be in good shape now. That's it for this one. We can move on to the next one. Well, it's just about to get dark, and that's about right. My help rolls in whenever it gets dark.
I'm the blister today. I'm the blister.
But no, I'm actually a little bit excited because Chris has never been out here on the Oklahoma ranch that we have out here, so I'm pretty excited to show you all these places. This is actually one of my favorite places right here. We call it the Valley. Fixing to put a card and a reveal right here, but if you wanna walk over there with Matt, you can look, and we got the stand is in that tree right there. I actually shot my deer here last year with a rifle. I shot Blaze out of here, but if you can look at that, and if you see another tree in here that you like better, that you think it should go in, you just tell me and I'll move it.
You picked the only tree big enough, Kenneth. There's not. It's Oklahoma.
Go over there and climb up in it. I want you to see it and tell me what you think. get a professional point of view. Well, we're here at LD's, and we already lost Kenneth because we were here for a week, and he starts blocking people in with his truck. So he had to go back to town and move his truck so that they didn't get towed, and left me to work. I'm here for 24 hours. He's already like, you do everything by yourself. But we're here at LD's. This is where Mark shot COVID last year, and we're gonna put out a reveal camera. In fact, this is Kenneth right now. I wonder if he went to jail. We'll see. Did you go to jail?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Well, so there's a possibility?
This dude will talk on the phone all day long. Not Chris, but old Ken Lee. So, we'll wait on you, Kenneth. Be back in a second. You done?
I'm done, but I don't know if Kenneth is.
Let's try this again. So you were saying?
So I was saying, this is where Mark shot COVID last year. The goal, they filled up the feeder and everything. We're just gonna throw out the reveals today. It's that time of year. It's early August for us down here. Just trying to get a good inventory. So, how come everything in Oklahoma and in Kansas sticks, pricks, bites? I have sensitive skin, you know. Oh, look at those bars going up. What kind of reception. Deer really like this area because they got plum thickets and cedar trees mixed with some hardwood cottons. But this is, right now our feeder activity isn't super great because of these little bad boys. These plums, as you can see, the deer have cleaned up every one but one. So I'll let Matt eat it. But these are like little gold nuggets this time of year for the deer. There's another couple plums up here that have plums on them, or plum trees that have plums on them. So hopefully they'll continue coming on our camera, but for right now, a little bit slower. You think he's got done with his nap? I mean, he's been gone for so long, it's tough to tell. I'll see if he's well rested. So are you well rested? Clean the mat out of your eyes and stuff like that, or?
Oh man, what time? It's 9:30. I guess you need one of these, don't you?
Yeah, I like these. You know, you had one job.
One job. That was it.
And you really weren't very good at it.
I know. I'm horrible. Yep.
Now I know what Matt talks about all the time.
About how good I am and how, I mean.
We'll go with that. We'll go with that. You're not scared of them.
Oh man.
You want to pull up on your phone, make sure that this thing's where you like it.
So let's show them or tell them about this Wi-Fi deal here. So this is where we're at right here at LD's.
Did it pick up the Wi-Fi? That's the other thing, because I just pulled one out of here. I didn't.
Does it say LD's on top?
72.
No. There's one in there that's got LD on top. I told him that.
Well, what the?
What's up? I mean, you had one job. You remember me telling you that? That's what I figured. Take that one off. Let me go get the right camera.
Cards in, Wi-Fi's on. Do you got it on your phone?
Yep. It's hitting me right there. I can see the ground and I can see right here.
Okay, so I'm good. I don't have to go like this.
Nope, go back the other way. Go back the other way a little bit. Right, oh, go back. Go back a little bit more. A little bit. Right. There. Lock it down.
Lock it down. Was this, did you write question mark number 2 because you just didn't know where to put it?
Yeah, I just don't really have a place to put it right now. I got 2 extra cameras. So I
Two
just
extra
put,
cameras. You know, in today's day and age, if you say you
No,
have
no,
two
no, no, no,
extra
no, no, no,
cameras
no.
for
Let
reveal,
me
there's
rephrase
gonna
that.
be bad stuff happening.
I got 2 cameras that have places yet that's got question marks. They're called 1 and 2.
Okay,
Are
don't
those spots?
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
You
No extras.
you will that
No
reveal
extras.
camera user group will
Yeah, no
come after you.
No extras. No extras.